Hey everybody, it's the Coach. This is Thursday Night Football on EA Sports. On deck, we've got what should be a great matchup between the Detroit Lions and the Carolina Panthers. I'll see you again at halftime as we preview some of the action coming up on Sunday. But for now, it's Thursday Night Football. And on the call, as always, is Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you. EA Sports coverage of the NFL finds us at Bank of America Stadium in Uptown Charlotte. A short time ago, a scene that never fails to stir up the folks here in Charlotte. Cam Newton strutting his way onto the field. His guys are fired up as they get set to go toe-to-toe with Matthew Stafford and the Detroit Lions. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Panther ball club as they interplay here. Now, losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for the Lions here, they come into this one knowing it's been a while since tasting victory. They've dropped 4 in a row.
Can they remember what it was like to win a game? In these types of situations, you're looking for someone to inspire you, and it doesn't have to be one of your best players either.
It's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. This is taken at the 3. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. First carry for Christian McCaffrey. To the 40 and no further. The razzle-dazzle, though, got him a couple extra on the play. Tackle made by the 3rd-round pick out of Louisiana, Tracy Walker.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
To throw on 2nd down is Newton. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes.
Two sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
And a few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. So on 4th down, kicking it away here, Michael Palardy. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. From the gun, here's Stafford. They'll find a man over the middle. It's Galladay. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
They'll run for the first time with Johnson. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Stafford. Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he led him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32.
Hurry!
2nd and 10, Stafford again. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. It'll be 3rd down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. Out of the gun, Stafford. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. And that's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down. That's already the 3rd time they've looked his way on this opening drive. He's caught 1 of the 3.
That doesn't mean they won't continue to go in that direction. It feels like they think they've got something good going there, and they think those numbers are going to increase.
So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Panthers will have a 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. Carolina getting set to take the field. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is, can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. And he'll take it ahead to the 28-yard line. Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
This is Newton off the play fake to McCaffrey. And he's got a man on the crossing route. That's Moore. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. And a nice gain of 21 yards. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. On 1st down, this is McCaffrey. And he'll be brought down right at midfield after a gain of only a couple.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it. So those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
From the 50, Newton. Smith catches left side. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that, because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
I get the thought process. 3rd and short, give it to the fullback, let him bulldoze his way. But that means you're counting on your offensive line to win the line of scrimmage, aren't you?
Yeah, and there was just a mass of bodies there at the line. Looked like more defenders than offensive guys. Winds up losing yardage. So look at this. Here's the field goal unit coming out. And he is going to need to bomb this one. This will approach NFL record territory. It's a 62-yard attempt. And this kick is not going to be close. It's well short, well right to boot. And this will remain a scoreless game.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
Stafford on first down. He'll get this one to Galladay. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. A shotgun snap for Stafford. And he's got it. Got his man on the end route. Complete. And it's picked up by the Panthers. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. That's probably bringing back nightmares of last week, isn't it?
No doubt about it. Right now, I'm looking over at the coaching staff, and I'm seeing the wheels turning in their heads. And you know what is happening? They're remembering how they started the season in camp, even in the offseason where they emphasized ball security, and they're wondering why the message isn't sinking in.
They had 5 turnovers last week, another one here in the opening quarter. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
Back to the ground on first. It's McCaffrey. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
A quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
They've got it 2nd and 10 to start things out. Newton going to hand it off to McCaffrey. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
3rd and long. It's Newton. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
And Detroit getting set to go now. You know, Charles, season winding down, time to maybe look ahead to the offseason. What do you see these guys going after either in the draft or free agency?
Well, with the season that they're having, just about every position is up for grabs right now. No one is really safe, but the focal point's always the quarterback position. And he may be auditioning to try and stay with his own current team. I think he's auditioning for the rest of the league to try and find a spot because I think this team is looking for a new quarterback.
On first down, it's Stafford. Going up top. This is intercepted. Picked off by Trey Boston. And they will finally stop him, but a great return. Gets that football all the way down to the 16-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week. 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away. And that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
Now following the interception, here's Newton. This will be caught just inside the 10. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. Oh, jumping early from his tight end spot. Maybe trying to get a jump start on that route.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right about that. And oftentimes when you see that, that means the play call was supposed to come in his direction, and he was eager to go catch a pass.
On second down, here's Newton. And he will take it across for a Panthers touchdown. Torrey Smith, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And his guys are able to strike for 6.
Man, he just ran a terrific route.
And oh, it's blocked. Gano out to kick this one away. Jamal Agnew now to return it. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Getting set to go again, Matthew Stafford trots back onto the field. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown 1 interception. He wants to balance that off with at least 1 touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Well, we always talk about how you've got to be quick when you go through your progressions, and here's another prime example. Trying to look downfield, he was standing in the pocket, but just couldn't find anyone open, could he?
No, not enough time. They hit him and forced that incompletion. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. Back to the air, Stafford on 2nd down. And that is incomplete. Kenny Golladay is intended receiver. And now it's 3rd down.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Now it's Stafford. Steps away to his left. And that one drops incomplete as he got popped as he was throwing it. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively and then just continued there with that incompletion.
And definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. And onto the field, here come the Panthers. So Newton and the Panthers come up now 1st and 10 at the 20. The drive begins with a run by McCaffrey. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
Draw play as Newton gives to McCaffrey. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And it'll be 3rd down.
Early down stuff's to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
Throwing on 3rd down, Newton. The open man is Smith. And he's got the 1st down yardage before being taken down at midfield. He got 29 yards that time.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
From the midfield strike, they'll look to throw. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
There's Newton now on second down. Going to throw right side here, complete. And he'll get it down here to the 43. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a third down.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
Throwing is Newton. And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
Here's Michael Palardy now. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. And Detroit getting set to go now. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Thus far, it hasn't been a real fun half for them, but a play like that may get them off the schneid a little bit, get them loosened up and moving.
Kind of seems like they've been sleepwalking and still sitting on 0 points.
And it's not always making an adjustment. Sometimes it's just going back to what you know can work and finally getting it done.
Now a first down throw, Stafford. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. It came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. On 2nd and 10, Stafford. They call that a loss of 6 yards. And it's 3rd down now. Third and long, it's Stafford. Being chased out left. Throw taken in by Taylor, left side. A big play on 3rd down for the Lions. 43 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
And we are back here. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. So the offense takes the timeout. And now we're set to get going. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Big 20.
On 1st down, Stafford here. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Dontari Poe able to drop him for a loss of a couple.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and ended up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. To the right and complete to Galladay. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the 1st half. The Lions into the red zone for the first time. They're looking at a 1st and goal from about the 9. Throwing is Stafford. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. Nice job defensively to hold him to 4, and now it's 2nd and goal. Here's Stafford now on 2nd down. And the pressure gets to him and brings him down. Stafford is sacked. And before they can run this 3rd down play, we're going to get a timeout, as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. The Lions on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. They're looking at a 3rd and goal here. Now Stafford. This will be caught at about the 5. A gain of 5, but not enough. Leads to a 4th and goal.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. And that one, my goodness, that was almost too easy.
Yeah, and you're not going to have too many attempts shorter than that one. I don't think anyone got a finger on it. That's about as bad a miss as you can have.
They start on the ground with McCaffrey. And not much room there as he'll get it up only to about the 21. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Second and 9 now from the 21. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more. An abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Lions offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. They'll fake it. Now Stafford going for the deep ball. And it's intercepted. Picked off by Brandon Carr. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
How big is that penalty? Wipe out the INT.
You'd hate to be the teammate that caused that penalty and wiped out the interception. You got to face that guy in the locker room. Not a lot of fun for you, and you hurt your squad.
So now a fresh set of downs. 1st and 10 after roughing the passer.
10, 180.
Stafford. Over the middle, it's complete. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
On 2nd down, Johnson. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
Brandon, that play typifies what we've seen from the offense all day long. They've had no success getting things going. I think for the offensive coordinator, he's got to get to that side of the play sheet that says, try something different. Try some specials, something they haven't seen all day to try and get this offense kick-started.
And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
So we're back in the offense getting set following the call of that timeout. Here's Sam Martin now. as he's on to punt for Detroit. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. The Panthers offense now, they head back on the field for their first possession of the second half. They have the lead, now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show him one thing, hit him with something else.
And he'll take this one up close to the 25-yard line. Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave him with a third and about 5.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively that has the same pace on that play. Got his target, Samuel. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield who can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Now a play fake here on first down. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. It's another 10 yards on that one and another first down.
And the big guy catches the ball out of the backfield, and oftentimes it's quite a surprise to the guys playing defense because not ordinarily thought as a pass catcher, it often works when they decide to dial it up.
Couple of first downs to kick off the drive. Here's 1st and 10 up at the 46. They'll give it up to McCaffrey, shedding the tackle, and a pretty big hole as he's down to about the 40. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
To throw on 2nd down is Newton. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he's going to be out of bounds down around the 35-yard line. And that'll be enough to keep the drive moving forward. Another first down on the pickup of 5 yards. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now a handoff, running off tackle right. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. Moving backwards on first down, never a good thing. What does that do for the mindset on 2nd down?
Well, it changes your play call, definitely, because as a play call, you're advancing yourself thinking, okay, we're going to get a gain here. Now you've got to go back in reverse, come up with something to pick up not just the yardage lost, but gain a few extra.
And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's 3rd down. That one doesn't find its target, but all in all, he's been much sharper this week. He was under 50% a week ago, and now he's up over 70%.
Well, you know it's standard for quarterbacks and receivers getting together for a little extra time each and every day in practice. I get the sense they got together for a lot of extra time this week to try and improve that passing percentage, and it's worked out quite well.
The Panthers on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Out of the gun, Newton. Dancing to his left. He may try and run for this. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. Newton able to use those legs and get past the marker to pick up the first. So an instance there of Cam being Cam. We know he can use his legs.
And with that big body, it's hard to get him down, even if you get a clear shot on him. Plus, he moves it a lot faster than what people think. And boy, does he have fun playing the game of football.
Newton now to throw. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call.
Holding. Offense.
So that one a hold right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often, because that can be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and it'll make this a 2nd and long.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it.
And we're back now in Charlotte. It's the Panthers out in front and in control of the football as well as we begin quarter number 4. On 2nd down, McCaffrey. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
And this is why the head coach gets paid the big bucks. Look at where they are in this situation, partner. Do you throw the ball here in a long-distance situation? Do you run it again and trust your defense and make sure you take care of the ball and punt it away? What kind of options do you have here, and who do you trust more on your team?
Yeah, they may have just pushed him back into that throwing situation. We'll see. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Quite the turnaround from a week ago where he threw 4 interceptions. He hasn't had an interception in this game, and he told us during the week, my goal, goose egg. He's achieving that so far.
And what we're seeing is a guy that you can win with, all right? Because anyone who can make that type of an adjustment to shake off a really horrendous week the week before and come back and play mistake-free football to this point, yeah, that's a guy I want to play with, that's for sure.
Now whistles here, and it looks like we've got a Panther that's having some difficulty down there getting up. We'll check on his status when we get back. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Newton. Oh, no, he lost the football.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield.
And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked by Tracy Walker. And a short return will be stopped inside the 10 at the 8-yard line.
Personal foul. Roughing the passer. Defense.
Wow, so wipe out the INT roughing the passer. What a disaster.
An absolute disaster, and you hope their lockers are not right next to each other for the postgame. Safe to say one is not buying the other dinner.
Newton to throw to the sideline. Wow, what a catch. Doesn't get a lot out of it, but he is able to keep the feet in bounds. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch. So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Now the Notre Dame man, this is Theo Riddick. And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
And Gano's kick is right through. And that will make our score 9-0. A big one there. That gives them a little cushion and makes it a 2-score game.
Yeah, bled a little time off the clock, put some points on the board. It's not totally out of reach yet, but it has to feel pretty good to them right now because as a defender, you go out on the field and say, guess what? You can put some points on the board, but that won't beat us.
And a penalty marker's down on the field. And they might be backing up a bit here to start the drive.
Return team.
Yeah, this is going to put them back with a not great field position.
So they really got zero benefit at all, right? Sometimes you can absorb a penalty when you get a big return. Then the penalty brings it back, but you still have great field position. As you pointed out, not in this case.
Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary, figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
21.
Stafford on first down. Forced out to his left. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Luke Kuechly coming in hard on the blitz. He gets him down for a loss of 4.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
So after the sack, here's 2nd and 14. Stafford now to throw. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle third. He couldn't catch it. Now 3rd down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. The Lions on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 14.
Big 20, big 20.
Here's Stafford. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. They'll get 11, but it'll still lead to a 4th down. Desperation time for Stafford on 4th down. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Panthers are going to get it back in excellent field position. So now with a 2-minute warning coming up fast, that puts a mammoth dent in their comeback hopes.
I like how you phrased it. It's a dent because there's still opportunity. They've got to get the ball back on defense, obviously twice. But guess what? This thing is not close to being over. They need to go ahead and play it out.
Not over. As you said, 2-score game still. Defensively, no doubt they need a quick stop. Offensively here, maybe do you put it in the air on 2nd down, or do you go ahead and keep it on the ground, keep that clock moving?
A lot of people would ask that question, partner, because sometimes throwing the ball might actually be the path of least resistance. But in this case, it's a matter of trust. How much do you trust your quarterback? Because you throw the ball and it goes awry, you really don't look smart as a coach.
Yeah, and then you stop that clock. Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. So it's Panther football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On the give, this is their fullback. 4 yards on the pickup there, but it's going to take him to 4th down. Whistles now and a timeout. So defensively, they burn it here with 1:51 left. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. On the left hash, officially, it's called a 51-yard attempt. And Gano's kick is right through. And that will bump up the lead again to 12-0. So they settle for just the 3. But clearly right now, anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off. But they still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. And on that last drive, went for it on fourth, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on fourth down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
And right now, defensively, you love that, don't you? I mean, you'll give them that play.
And they'll take it every single time. This is almost like nickeling and diming it downfield, and too much time's going to run off the clock.
The Lions on third down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This will be 3rd and 5. They'll hand it off now. Johnson. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. Ball at a gain of 3, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Now, that was a big-time play by the defense. They as well knew where the first down line was, and they didn't let them get anywhere near it.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. A hit as he throws, and this is going to be incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and that's going to be just about all she wrote for this one. So with that, we can just about close the book on this one, Charles.
Yeah, what's the old expression about slim and none? Well, Slim just left town on that
They're
one.
down to none?
Yes, exactly right.
And this one going to wrap up with Cam Newton going down to a knee.
Brandon, I can just tell you from experience, there's nothing like pitching a shutout on defense, but even more so when it's a tight game. I mean, when every defensive play is crucial and you don't give up any points, boy, they're going to feel awfully good about themselves after this one.
Yeah, exactly. The offense wasn't humming, but, hey, all they needed was you can't score 1 point. All they needed was 2 points. Well, you can't score 2 points on offense. All they needed was at least 3, and they got what they needed.
They got what they needed. Exactly right.
The storyline in this one, Charles, no doubt the number 0. Zilch, nada. A shutout so hard to do in the NFL.
It really is, and what an accomplishment, because you feel that not just on the defensive side, but as a full team. There's a lot of pride that goes into shutting out an opponent. And how about that 0 on the scoreboard for them, going along with those zeros in the time column, too.
So for the Panthers, they get back to 500 now as the win moves them to 7-7. And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week, where they take on the Tennessee Titans. Meanwhile, for Detroit, the rough season continues as they plunge to 1-13. And they will be at home next week to take on the New York Giants. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.
White rank. Couldn't hit if it had ain't. Lanes can't call and